Oh my goodness, y'all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome to an episode of T Gresh Realty. I'm your real estate queen. My name is Tanita. This is my first time going live on here. So I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody that has tuned into my TikTok channel. And I posted some questions for you in the poll section. So if you have questions for me, feel free to ask the questions you may have. You can ask me a question about purchasing. You can ask me a question about selling your home. What are your questions? Just let me know and we can get started. Or do you have questions about a particular market in general? So, like I said, this is my first time going live. And if you have questions for me, just post them down in the comments section, y'all. I hope you've been enjoying my footage. Hopefully you've been enjoying my videos. I actually meant to, what's good, Nick 357. I actually meant to hook up my microphone before I got started, but this caught me off guard. So anyway, y'all, this is my first time being live on TikTok. I am so excited about it. So I will start coming on live more often now that I'm able to come on. This is just a little introductory so that you could get to know me. Hopefully you can follow my channel, follow my videos. Thank you so much, Helena. How are you, sweetheart? Audrey, what's good? Y'all, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for dropping by, saying hi. I'm going to be on here for about 5 minutes. So, what's good, Latif? You said you're good? I am so glad you're doing good. How's the weather out there where y'all are? The weather here was around 80 degrees today. I overdressed. Let me show y'all what I wore. So today, this is from my clothing brand, by the way. I have another channel on TikTok, but this is from my clothing brand. I wore this. So y'all, actually, I overdressed today, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I know there's been a lot of apprehension about, the real estate market. A lot of people are saying that real estate is going to go under, and people have a lot of questions about the interest rates. So the good thing is interest rates have been pretty stable for the last few months, y'all. Swipe left. Hold on, I got to read something. It says swipe left to view something. I couldn't see what it said. Okay. But basically, the interest rates have been stable for the last couple of months. Now, I will tell you that since 2020 to 2021 to 2022, of course, they've gone up a whole lot. I can tell you, like, when we used to do open houses, I literally have a video where there were lines of cars, and I might post it on here. Lines of cars. When I find that footage, I mean, at least 14, 15 cars lined up just to see this house in this neighborhood. And it was a rural part of it was like on the outskirts of the city. And it was so funny because like one of my colleagues, she was already in there hosting, and I showed up to help her, and we had droves of people just coming in left and right, left and right. Needless to say, I did put an offer in for one of my clients that wanted to purchase in cash, and that house went under contract very, very soon. So real estate is still happening. It's probably not happening to that magnitude, but it's still going on. So if you are in the market to purchase, or you're thinking about it on the borderline, please feel free to follow this TikTok of mine, or you can actually follow me as well on YouTube. It's the same thing, t.gresh.realty on YouTube, t.gresh_realty on YouTube. I will try to, give you some insightful information, especially if you're like a first-time home buyer, because it can be a little scary for some people if you don't really know the ins and outs of what's going on or what's happening. Every state is a little different, but pretty much the home buying process is pretty much the same, y'all. I would say the best thing that you can do is to get a reputable realtor in your area. And if you don't know anybody in your area, feel free to reach out to me, because I do work with a plethora of realtors all across the nation. That's one great thing about being a realtor. We connect across state lines. So I've actually helped people, out of my state, and I actually, all the way to, Texas. So I'm not licensed in Texas, but I can get you connected to a reputable realtor wherever you may live, if, that's what you want to do. If you're thinking about selling, same thing. If you're thinking about purchasing, same thing. I actually have a friend that purchased out in Dallas, Texas, and I was, giving her some useful advice. Even though I'm not licensed there, I did get her connected to someone that could kind of guide her and help her. And I want to tell you that she was on a borderline of purchasing, and it was so funny because she was in like a 1-bedroom apartment at the time. And I told her, this was like March of 2020, and I told her, go for it, right? I said, it's one of the best things you can do to secure your financial future. And she did. And she was so scared and nervous, y'all. And right now, her house is worth a whole lot more than what she paid for it. And I don't have the figures in front of me right now, but that's just, basically what home ownership does for you. It kind of like sets you up to kind of secure your financial future, even though there are pros and cons. So let's get into all of it, because I know people say there are pros and then there are cons. Okay, so the cons. All right, let's go there, because we want to be very transparent when we talk about these things. Y'all forgive me because I didn't even hook my microphone up. Maybe next time I will. I just don't want to mess anything up on the live, y'all. But the cons, okay, so let's get into that. So a lot of people feel like if they purchase, they're scared that, something might happen with their income or their job and they'll lose their house, they'll get put out. That's not the case. If you go to my YouTube channel, I speak on that. My last video was actually addressing that. Y'all, it's very hard to get put out of your house. First of all, the bank doesn't even want to have to go through that whole process of trying to get people put out of their house. And it takes a long time to go through a bankruptcy and a short sale. So we're going to put those terms out of our mind, out of our vocabulary, because if you're purchasing, you're going to keep your house. Point blank and period. If you try to keep your house, you will have your house. Things can come up, and that's okay, but your mortgage company will work with you. All right. So I just want to put that out there, just a little caveat for people. The cons. The cons are, yes, property taxes do go up whenever they have assessments, which can cause your mortgage payment to go up as well. And the reason your mortgage payment goes up is because the property tax assessment is included in your mortgage payment. So what that means is the value of your home goes up, and so does your mortgage payment. Now, there's a way around that because you can pay more in your escrow account. And if you don't know what an escrow account is, check out one of my videos on YouTube. I explain that as well. And, you can look at what an escrow account means. But yeah, so I look forward to coming on here more often, answering any questions you have about real estate, whether it's buying, whether it's selling, whether it's the commercial side, whether it's land, whether it's about renting, which one should you do? You're going back and forth. You don't know. How do you qualify? All of these things real estate, y'all. And maybe I'll be able to do like some more footage of the open houses that I do, new construction that I do, because people seem to really enjoy that content as well. Thank you so much for everybody that has been tuning in, just dropping by to say hi. I am Chrissy. How are you? Quintinosa 2400, what's good? All of y'all that are joining, hi to you all. This is my real estate channel right here. So thank you so much for the Heath Carey, D. I got it. Yeah, a lot of people joining in today. So thank you so much. Like I said, this is my first time. So excuse the hair because I just washed it yesterday. And when I got the notification, y'all, it said you can now go live. I was like, well, let me test it out. So it's kind of similar to Instagram, but I think I like it a little bit better because it seemed like it's more interactive. So yeah, just know that I will be on here more and more and more, y'all. Just got the #1 gifter badge. Okay, like I have to figure out how this stuff works because I don't know, y'all. It says more likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. Okay, well, thank you for liking the live. I like you too. Thank you so much. Uh-huh. Well, post questions or comments or whatever you have, anything real estate. What's good, Michelle Lefave? How are you? And I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, I feel like TikTok is more, you reach more people. It's more a diverse audience than the Instagram. Because, y'all, I don't know. But my Instagram is the same. If you want to follow me there, it's t.gresh realty on there as well. I have several platforms for, my real estate brand. What is it like to be a realtor? Y'all, there are ups and downs. There are leaps and bounds. I can definitely tell you that. Every transaction is different. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love getting to the closing table with the clients. I love going into the attorney's office. And I love knowing that I helped the client become a home buyer and basically changing the trajectory of their lives, moving people across state lines, moving people into a home, that they thought maybe they wouldn't have. All of that makes me feel good. And I do keep in touch with my clients. I send Christmas cards, holiday cards. I call, I text, I email, I check on them. Clients become friends, so it's a beautiful thing. This is my second time around being a realtor. I used to be licensed in another state. Long story short, there was the big mortgage crash that happened around that time. And y'all probably remember that a lot of people went into foreclosure and bankruptcy. And I was also working at that bank during that time. So I heard all the stories that was happening with people. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hold on, couldn't pay their bills, mortgage fell behind. A lot of these people, believe it or not, were realtors. A lot of these people were in construction workers. A lot of these people had, different occupations, and they took out lines of credit or against their houses. And, unfortunately, that's what happened back then. And I remember going through these really high prestigious neighborhoods and seeing like foreclosed signs, for sale signs, all through the lined up next one by one next to each other. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? But y'all, since then they have actually added guidelines to make sure that people can secure their mortgage. So whenever you do go to apply for a mortgage the first time, it's going to be a pre-approval. You get a pre-approval letter. They're going to pull your credit the first time. The second time is through the transaction to make sure that you still qualify. And the very last time is either at closing or right before closing to make sure nothing has changed with your credit score or with your debt to income ratio and all of that, because things can change within, that time frame. When you get your pre-approval letter, usually that letter is good for 90 days, y'all. Okay, so if you are shopping around for a mortgage, make sure you shop for a great lender. That's going to be very crucial. The most crucial part is your realtor and your lender, and they need to be all working together with you, the client, keeping everybody hand in hand in what's going on. So with me, I like the lender that I have used before, because we do a group three-way text. It's me, the lender, and the client. The client, me, and the lender. So we all know what's going on email threads and everything. Now, if there's something that I don't need to be included on, they're not going to include me with your personal information. But if it's something regarding the transaction that we need to really tend to and handle, they're going to make sure everybody's abreast, because time is of the essence, y'all, when you are going through this whole process. So you can close in about 45 days, literally. Sometimes they say 30 days. I would say roughly about 45 days. Because, there are a lot of roughly about 45 days. Because, there are a lot of moving parts behind the scenes to get you to become the homeowner that you wish to be. So, y'all, those are just, some sentiments from T. Gresh Realty. I am your real estate queen, y'all. Thoroughly enjoying the profession regardless. I love looking at houses. I love going to see multi-million-dollar houses, taking people out to see these multi-million-dollar houses. And some of my footage got lost from the last couple of showings that I did, but I will be posting more. I love luxury homes. I love high prestigious neighborhoods, but I also like, just new construction as well. I also like going in houses and just seeing how people have it decorated, how did they have it staged. These are all the things that appealed to me before I became a realtor. And so I love home decor. All these things, I love it. And then I also like meeting, the people. I like going to different neighborhoods. I just like the whole process. It is fun to me. So, you know, regardless, like I like the colleagues. I just love, I think out of all the jobs I've had, I don't consider real estate a job, but it is a job. But this is like the best profession that I could have chosen for myself, because of the flexibility. I like the functions we get to go to, the rooftop events, the parties that they host. So when you're a realtor, like a lot of the builders will throw parties, and they finance and fund a lot of it. I want to give a special shout out to True Homes. They've been very good to us. They let us do open houses for their properties. And I went to a DR Horton event, and they basically had like a casino night for the realtors, y'all. And they give out a lot of money. So you definitely can win prizes, monetary prizes at these events. I want to give a shout out to Meritage Homes. I sold one of their homes, and yeah, they were giving a nice percentage for the realtors. Like they had raised it to like a 6% commission, but at the time that I sold, it was 4% commission. So that was pretty decent. Who else? Those are, well, there are many different builders. There's Eastwood Homes. There is Smith Douglas. I don't know if you've heard of Smith Douglas. Who else? Who else can I think of right now? Oh, Lennar. I want to give a shout out to Lennar. I sold one of their homes as well. Pretty decent. Pretty decent home. So even if you're not getting new construction, say you're getting a pre-built, you still want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence on, all of your inspections, termite inspections. If you have a VA loan, y'all, you're definitely going to need a termite inspection. So depending on your loan, it's going to be determinant on what they're inspecting for. FHA loans have more of a stringent policy and guideline when it comes to what they're looking for when they look at your inspections. Conventional loan is a little more flexible. What? Notification violation detected in live now to avoid. I didn't violate anything. Y'all, they said I violated something. So I don't know what violation they're talking about. They told me to end the live now to avoid the suspension. So I will talk to y'all later. I don't know what's going on with TikTok. All right, y'all, signing out. Until next time, you all stay blessed.